Hey, what's up, guys? So today I want to talk about Project Hail Mary. Now, I know this is an older review. This movie came out March 20th, and I actually checked this out way late into its release date, almost at the end of April, as a matter of fact. It took a lot of coaxing for me to go see that. Not really, but yes, it did towards the end. I just had no idea that this movie was coming out. I had no idea that Ryan Gosling was making a movie based on a really good book, because I actually first heard about the movie through the book. A friend of mine that was in a book club and told me about the book being really well, that she enjoyed it, that as soon as the movie was going to come out, she was going to go and check it out. And then when I saw the trailer, I didn't really think that much of it. I just thought it was Ryan Reynolds just wanting to make a space movie, and that was it. But then I heard about the core of the movie, like what made the movie for a lot of people, and I still wasn't 100% sold. And I think it was around the time when it first came out, maybe that first week, and I could not find a single negative review or anybody saying anything bad about the movie. And that's when I told myself, I gotta go check out this movie. And with school, work, and just, life, I knew I wasn't gonna go check out that movie because I haven't gone to the movies in a while. And I am so glad that I actually went to see this movie, because it was my friend, the one from the book club, that finally said, I'm going with you or without you. And we finally went, and that was probably like the best decision I made that day. What a movie. And it's been a while since I came out of the movies and felt like my expectations were completely blown out the water. Another reason why also I decided to talk about this movie right now is because like there's nothing that's enticing me all that much, although that's not 100% true. I'm hearing a lot of good things about Masters of the Universe. Believe it or not, a movie that I thought was going to be a complete wash. It seems like people are really enjoying that movie up to this point. So maybe I'm gonna have to go check that out. I am after all a millennial. I grew up with a series. I caught it a little bit later, but I had the toys and everything. So why not? So yeah, I might have to check that out. Who knows? But this movie, Project Hail Mary, was quite a surprise. This movie is directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. It stars obviously Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, and I thought Sandra Hüller actually probably doesn't get mentioned as much, or maybe she has, but I haven't felt like she got the credit that she deserves, because I actually enjoyed her performance a lot more than Ryan Gosling's. And by the way, I'm going to spoil this movie. It's already been over 2 months that this movie came out. So if you haven't seen it, it's actually still in theaters. I don't know if it's still in theaters in your city, but in my city, I can't believe that they're still showing this movie. I was checking it out yesterday. I don't know what I was looking at, and I noticed that 2 theaters still had the movie. So go check it out. Definitely go see it, because I am going to spoil it. Sandra Hüller plays a really good role. She has this kind of like nefarious thing to her, with this sort of dark and humorous undertone that I really dug. I really had a good time with her character and the way she went about portraying the role. I can't say the same thing with Ryan Gosling now. So this is not me so much as criticizing Ryan Reynolds, because I did enjoy his performance. He played Ryan Reynolds, and that was kind of the issue. But it's more me just nitpicking. It's just something personal. In no way did it take me away from the movie. Absolutely not. I still think this movie is probably going to be the best movie that I've seen this year, and I intend to try to go and catch more movies this year. Absolutely. But so far, I know for a lot of people are in contention with Obsession. I think it's The Backrooms also. I unfortunately don't do horror movies, but I had the same friend from the book club that went to see Obsession, and they told me, yeah, it was good. It was fun. Like, that was the only person that just thought it was like, meh. It was okay. It was all right. But everybody else is just praising the hell out of these 2 movies, at least Obsession. So for me, I think I'm going to probably stick with Project Hail Mary. I thought it was that good, and what sold it for me was it was that damn rock. And I didn't think it was gonna do the job. I didn't think I was gonna get so pulled in by this weird rock. Even when I saw Rocky, I told myself there's no way I'm gonna feel anything for the rock, because it just didn't evoke anything. It didn't evoke any sympathy from me. But as the movie progressed, they did such a good job. And again, Ryan Reynolds did a really good job with Rocky when they were together, when they were back and forth. I love that. I think it worked. I think his humor, his charming, goofball, self-deprecating humor that he's known for, I think it worked perfectly. And I probably could not see anybody else doing that. But with other things, when he was in Earth, I could definitely see other people portraying that role. And that's where like my I don't know, I'll go and say my biggest gripe was with Ryan Reynolds' character, and it was in the first scene when Eva Stratt, Sandra Hüller's character, when they go and recruit Ryan Reynolds. And so he's a former, I guess, big shot molecular biologist. And at this point, when we see him, he's just a middle school teacher. He's a science middle school teacher. And Sandra Hüller goes and talks to him, and then she brings up the fact that I think he disparaged or something, the dean or a fellow colleague of his. He's like tripping over himself, and he's constantly apologizing for having her bring that up to him. That I felt it just wasn't necessary. It was fine at the beginning, but he kept on apologizing and just being overly apologetic for no reason. I didn't think it warranted that, and it just felt like Ryan Reynolds. I think the last movie I saw him was The Fall Guy, if I'm not mistaken, the one where he's the stunt guy. And it just felt like he was in the next studio shooting that movie, and he just walked out of that studio onto the next studio for Project Hail Mary, and he just continued on being that guy. I mean, there's a lot of Hollywood actors that kind of have that syndrome, and it's fine. I don't mind. Keanu Reeves comes to mind. The Rock comes to mind. But there are a lot of these actors that just play themselves. Will Smith is another one of them. And that's not to say that I don't like their movies or I get pulled away from the movie or it destroys the movie experience for me. It definitely doesn't. And it didn't do that with Ryan Reynolds in Project Hail Mary. But there were times that it was just irking me just a little bit. And the biggest one I could say was when he finds out that he has no choice and he's gonna be sent to space. That one where he's like climbing on the furniture and then he's just running away, and they're making it seem a little bit silly and cute. I didn't think it worked because it was like a scene where you needed a more serious and somber tone instead of him being wacky and comedic at that point, because the stakes are high. I mean, at that point you might as well slap on a Benny Hill track or something. So it didn't really go well with that scene. And the scenes mostly when he was on Earth. When he was in space and when he was with Rocky, I thought he did a great job. I had no issue with that whatsoever. But the scenes back in Earth, some of them, like I mentioned those two last scenes, they really did bother me, to be quite honest. Again, did it ruin the movie experience for me? Not at all. I still absolutely love the movie. And for certain scenes like the ones in space, I thought he did a really good job. I thought he did a really, really good job. It's just sometimes when he was back on Earth and the stakes are high. These are, after all, very difficult choices that anybody in his shoes would have to make, and I felt it required a more serious tone. It would have been nicer the movie take itself a little bit more serious. That's all. And that's it. That's all I really wanted to point out. Like I said, just going to be a little brief review of this movie. Maybe in the future, maybe I'll touch on it a little bit more. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.